Basically, I'm gonna call my partner up here. Clap time all the way up. We just gonna get y'all ready. Clap time all the way up to the stage, real quick. We're gonna tell you a little bit about Poetry Unplugged, what we represent, what our mission is, what we're looking to do, and why we started before we get started on the open mic. So, Tom.
How everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Just okay?
Good.
It sounds like it's just okay. But that's okay. How did we like the art? How did everybody go up there and check Renee's art out?
I did.
Did y'all like the pink stairs?
Yes.
So just a little bit about Poetry Unplugged. We started organically. You know, Morgan's, she's super dope, right? We know that? No? Maybe? Super dope. So I heard her spitting her poetry at B-side, and that's kind of where I started, like just reciting my poetry off my phone. I'm like, hey Morgan, can you help me? I need some help. And then we started to talk, and I'm like, man, I need help because my poetry is too deep and nobody's listening to me at B-side. It's just too loud. Like, we should create our own platform because we need people to hear us. We need people to respect this mic. And that's like our number one rule here, respect the mic. So inside of that, just organic, just piece of trying to get better and trying to be heard, we created Poetry Unplugged. And we wanted Poetry Unplugged to be a place where people can network and connect. So that's what Poetry Unplugged is, as well as a bunch of dope artists that just come up and bless the stage with their dope pieces. Almost every time we've had an event, it's been somebody coming up here for their first time, reading off their phone. This is a no judgment zone. This is a safe zone, right? If you haven't wrote anything in 10 years, you can come up here and say your poem from 10 years ago. You just, you got an event tomorrow, like Morgan, you can come up here and spit something, whatever. This is an open, no judgment zone. And that's what Poetry Unplugged is. And it's been grown. We started in January. And we're just appreciative for everybody who keeps coming, the new people that come. And for me, I'm just a fan of poetry. So I'm hosting it, but at the same time, I just sit back and I'm just like, man, I'm honored to be in this position. I'm honored to hear everybody come up here and spit their piece. So that's the basics of Poetry Unplugged.
So tonight it's an open mic experience. So we're gonna call artists up to the stage. I'm gonna be one of the artists. Tom is gonna be one of the artists that comes up to the stage. We're gonna come to the stage. We're gonna perform our poem. We're gonna snap. We're gonna give the artist full undivided attention. We're gonna be quiet. We're gonna snap. We're gonna say ooh, ah, when we hear something we like. And there's no judgment zone. We ask that everyone respect the mic while any artists come up to the stage. Just because we want to make them feel like we are listening at the same time, be able to hear what they're actually saying. So I'm going to be the first artist to do something. And then, yeah, we'll be getting started. Hey y'all, my name is Morgan Page. I have a show tomorrow with Just Cuz. It's called Bear in the Flesh. It's at Jackson's Motif, 5 to 9. Doors open at 5. Doors close at 6 because we starting right on time. I'm going to do one of the poems that I'm performing there. It's called Elements. This is one of my favorite poems. It speaks to my journey in abstinence. And yeah, I actually made it to a year in October, so I feel really good. All right, boom. All right. I ain't been touched. No fingerprints tracing down my spine. No hands between thighs. No kissing with the closing of eyes undefiled I found. I'm not eager for any of the above, see. My body still bodies without touch. And encouraged without strangers' eyes crossing the look in my skin. It maintains it soft without hands validating. I still smell like shea butter. I still shave my legs and underarms, and I still keep up with my upkeep, if you know what I mean. It means I take care of what takes care of me, what houses me. To see this temple is adorned with fine fabrics, garments, and dignity. So I'd be remiss if love didn't live here anymore only because I haven't been kissed, caressed, felt like a woman all my life. See this womb? It holds the subconscious mind of a lady. Her genius, beliefs, and emotions, and she's so deep, oceans become shallow to her. Fire stands beside her like kin, and they feel each other like no other. They're twins, and I ain't never heard about a man fondling flames to feel its warmth. All he had to do was stand beside it or before her to experience the heat. And just like that is how I want you to feel me. A little air, a light breeze, no need to be touchy-feely, see. I know you used to learning kinesthetically, but I'd rather you just inhale me. Take all of me in. Then exhale all your thoughts of sin. I want you to feel my heat, then get carried away in my wind. I really hope that you can swim in the depth of my imagination, because I take you to somewhere, but I don't know if that's where you're headed. And I don't know if that's where your head's at or the way you like to be inside, but baby, I promise, in my dreams is the safest place for you to reside. You don't want to feel my earthquake, nor my elements of surprise. You don't want to see me hurricane, or take this tornado for a ride. See, I am the rioting, rushing wind of a girl, the calm in a woman, the ease of a breeze. You want to survive in my ocean. I'm gonna grace you this morning, and I'm gonna take my stance. See, my aura, it be atmospheric, and that's more than just a feeling with your hands, more than just a dilation of your pupils or a rush of dopamine. See, my woman, it be more woman than any other woman you've ever seen. I'd have you full-blown crack addict, acting like a dope fiend. You be itching to change, and then rushing to go get clean. You're gonna need an extra 12 steps. After getting one dose of me, and baby, we just getting started. And you ain't even been close to me. I have you in NA, AA, GA, every anonymous meeting. I have you wanting to change your identity and then answering to a new greeting. You probably start talking real crazy too, like asking if you could wear my last name. Have you in and out of psychiatric offices contemplating if you still sane. You gotta be careful. At being so eager to touch, cause I'm gonna make you feel me. Now tell me if you really want it that much. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, that poem is in the show tomorrow. Bare in the Flesh. It's about trauma, healing, love, all of that jazz is at Jackson's motif. So come see me. That's my last show this year, and I don't know when I'll have another one. So hopefully y'all can make it. But also, I'm a part of this group called The Sparrow's Fortune. We're a poetry collective, so you can follow us at The Sparrow's Fortune to see our upcoming shows, writing workshops, etc., etc., etc. When you guys come up here, tell us what you do, how we can support you, blase, blase, because we want to know what you do, we want to know how we can support you. If you got a business, tell us about your business. If you got a book, tell us about your book. I got 2 books on Amazon. If you click the link in my bio, you can purchase one of my poetry books on Amazon. And I have a poetry EP on Apple Music, Amazon, YouTube, all them places where you can download music. So if you want to listen to my poetry, you can listen to it on there. So, getting to that, all done. All right, boom. So the first artist we're gonna have called to the stage is someone that I know is super confident. I'm gonna call Avery Lamar Pope to the stage, please. Clap him all the way up.
I'll be real with y'all. I didn't come here looking to perform tonight. Yeah, I bet you guess you did. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Y'all alright? Okay. Shoot. Dang. What I'm gonna do?
You got one more.
The one with the words, right?
And the syllable.
Valid. No. Okay, so yeah, what's up? My name is Avery Lamar Pope. Yes, that is my government. No, you can't be weird about it. I'm an actor, poet, singer, all that. I'll sing. Can I sing? Okay, can I get a chair? Okay, so let's get all of the boring stuff out the way. So I just dropped a new video on YouTube. I did a piece at the Word Church called Equation of Love. So if y'all want to check that out, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Avery Lamar Pope, capital M, thank you very much. What else? I'm part of a dope group that y'all have been hearing about for the past, I don't know how long, because I just got in here, my hands are still cold. The Sparrow's Fortune is a show tomorrow. It's gonna be really dope at Jackson's Motif. Come get tickets, the whole 9 yards. Mo, could you record me on my phone like on a horizontal, like what's called landscape type thing? Okay, all right. Dang, maybe I should have done a poem. Oh wait, I have my phone. I'm gonna do a poem and a song. How about that?
Do it.
Are y'all awkward yet? Are y'all uncomfortable yet?
You good, bro?
No, just be honest, because if y'all are uncomfortable, then that means that I did what I was supposed to do, which is to make y'all uncomfortable.
Good time, man.
Okay, cool. Oh, I know which one I'll do. My grandfather doesn't make a sound when he laughs. His face explodes into a gleeful expression. A smile ravages his cheekbones. His eyes burn with almost tears, but his voice sort of fizzles out, despite the spark provided. The first time I noticed this, concern crept into my body. I figured something had to be wrong. There was no wheeze, no aspirated gasp when he laughed, just silence. And that couldn't be healthy, right? That couldn't be good, right? A few hospital visits, a few pounds dropped, and a few scares, and Papa J's laugh just sort of disappeared somewhere. And I made it my job to find it. I cracked more jokes, snuck more insiders into our conversation, cocked my head back and cackled, hoping that some of my raucous behavior would shed off on him, but no. No chuckling or giggling for him. That day, I hooted and howled into the air as a one-man band, and then it metronome clicked. The thought came to me like golden oldies from his stereo. Just because joy is silent does not mean it should concern me. He's been through a lot, seen a lot of things, and though life may take his sound from him, that does not mean that he does not still have a song to sing. He may not happy feet his way across a dance floor anymore, but when reclining in his living room, his right house shoe will still bop to the soulful sounds of Otis Redding or Sam Cooke. His hooks may not carry the same heat as they did in his trophy dolls boxing days, but his wit still be as quick as a Mayweather jab, and maybe he's not as muscular as he used to be. But he's lifted the most weight out of most I've ever seen by living to be this old in America as a black man with native roots, and ain't that stronger than strong? See, I've learned that there's nothing wrong with a little silence every once in a while. He's taught me that just because something isn't voiced doesn't mean it's not felt. And I've sat with him long enough to see that he's got a few of his own jokes to crack too. So I'll disturb the quiet of the dining room and laugh out loud for the both of us, and recognize that just because I'm more vocal doesn't mean I'm the lead singer. This is his band. Thank you. Okay, so that's that one. I think I'm gonna give it to my granddad for Christmas. I think that's like the most cost-efficient thing right now as gas goes up and down in prices. It's like, hey, look, I'm gonna just write you a poem, frame that joint, put it up on the wall, bada boom, bada bing, and we gonna kick it like that. But yeah, like I always be doing poetry, but I don't never sing. I think the last time I sang in public was like beginning of September, and it wasn't here, so I figured I'd do a little show. And if y'all hadn't noticed by now, I'm a goof. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin? 'Cause I can't help falling in love with you. So fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song. Let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true, please be true. In other words, I love you. Thank you. So yeah, Avery Lamar Pope on the platforms and stuff. Come kicking with us tomorrow at Jackson's Motif. And Morgan, never call me up like that again.
I'm sorry. I do got something to do, but I forgot. You know what? The next artist I'm gonna call up to the stage is Ivy. Ivy, clap her all the way up to the stage.
Well, hello guys, my name is Ivy. I'm gonna state 2 facts about myself before I read this poem. The first fact is I am a woman of God, so I stand for everything that is good, right, divine, and true. And the second fact is I am a lover of all things that are lovely. And one of those things, can I take this off the stand? Okay. I kind of need to move around a little bit since it's jumping around. But yeah, one of those things that I love is Black people and Black love, Black connection, and Black unity. So I just dedicated a poem to that. So yeah, the name of the poem is called My Family Tree is Different Than Yours. So here we go. I was gracefully and gratefully chosen to be Black. To be anything else just simply wouldn't be fair. This brown-skinned and curly hair, it complements me so well, just like a perfect pair. I am not like you, and you're not like me. Even our differences are not similar because we came from 2 different seeds, planted in 2 different soils because we have 2 different needs. And it seems as though you couldn't find the beauty in yourself. Instead, you tried to take mine away from me. You even tried to kill us off, not knowing we were blessed with the strongest gene. You are not like me, and I'm not like you. But I promise, my friend, when I say that, it is not to be rude. It's just that no matter how much you can relate, it will never be the same. And I would love to sit down and tell you all about it, but I really don't have the time. It might take me around 400 years to explain. Beautiful Black people, y'all were made so perfectly, like peanut butter, chocolates, caramel, and toffee. You remind me of a candy shop because the essence of your presence is just so sweet. I have some words for you if you would just take the time to listen to me. Beautiful Black woman, when I look at you, I see me. Forever you're my mother, sister, grandmother, and auntie. I love you so much that if I go a day without seeing you, I'll be sure to meet you tonight in my dreams. You are the highest standard and the epitome of beauty. No matter how much they may copy, you are the one that has it embodied. And when the world lets you down, I'll always be around to remind you who you are and to help you fix your crown or to wipe away your tears before they ever hit the ground. And remember, my sister, when I give you this love, please give it back to me. I mean, eventually, because the only way that I can pour into you is if you pour back into me. Beautiful black man, a piece of you I have in me. It is your rib I come from, and just like a puzzle piece, we connect together so perfectly. My father, my brother, my friend, even the stranger on the street, the love that I have for you, it goes on for centuries. And I know this world beats you down, but I'll always take care. I'll give you what you need, which is love, comfort, respect, and dignity. Everything this world has taken from you, I have it all here for free. But under one requirement, I need you to protect me. Because they are not only after you, they aim to erase away our entire identity. They know that it is you who plants the seeds to grow strongly rooted family trees. So they have removed you from the home just to isolate me, labeling me strong and independent and a woman who can fend for her own needs. Look into my eyes, black man, and please remember me, because they have painted me out to be your biggest enemy. They don't want to see us in love, they want to see us compete. And to my sisters, when do we become so shallow that the first thing we check is how many commas a man's check has on it? This fast world has convinced you that a good life means to be financially rich. So when a man does not give you expensive bags and trips, you simply turn the other way and ditch. But listen, my sister, that is not your niche. Don't be sold out short because your love is priceless. You deserve what money cannot buy, and that is peace, love, and happiness. So if you have a brother that loves you, hold on to him tight, because the enemy does not come in the day. He comes when you're alone at night.
You got it.
I just lost my track. Because the enemy does not come in the day, he comes when you're alone at night. So, damn.
You got it.
It's all right, take your time. Take your time, poet.
Say the last line.
Damn, shit. So if you have a brother that loves you, hold on to him tight, because the enemy does not come in the day. He comes when you're alone at night. You are just like me, and I'm just like you. And I'm hopeful that in the next generation, things will be good, right, divine, and true. And to the ones who are different, I love you too. I know you may not understand me, but I don't know how to talk about our truths without offending you. I hope one day you will understand, and when that moment comes, do not forget the words that roll off my tongue. You are not like me, and I'm not like you. Thank you.
Pop her all the way up one more time, real quick. I just want to say that was a beautiful poem. I didn't get up. Your voice is so beautiful. You know I think you're a genius. But Ivy, that was a very beautiful poem. I really appreciated that. So the next artist we're going to have come up to the stage. We got one more artist, and then we're going to do a brief intermission. So the next artist we have coming up to the stage is Jamal. Jamal, clap him all the way up to the stage. Ooh.
Man, I ain't said words in a hot minute, so gotta give me a little second. Okay. My name is Jamal, yo. I am from this city. I sell clothes a lot. I make art. That's really what I do. Got my rack set up back there. My brand is called For Sunshine. I'm just here to heal people, y'all. Just here to heal people. Just here to be myself and to show people that like being yourself gets you exactly where you're supposed to be. And the goal here is to be exactly where you're supposed to be, because that's what people need to heal. You're supposed to say the words you need to say. You're supposed to move the way you're supposed to move, because like people need to see that. And this ain't even no home stuff. This is just really just in general. Though. Like people need to see you just genuinely being yourself, and that's why I'm even right here. I got invited here just off me being myself. I was just like selling my pieces, and then a beautiful young lady just gravitated to me and was like, yo, you should be right here. And I'm like, all right, cool. So here I am. The piece I'm gonna say is just what y'all honestly need to hear. So I'm just rolling to it. I got invited here because we all have an idea of what home is. But honestly, my idea of home is what y'all looking at right now. I walk in my embodiment. I move in my way, and I show people that like I'm comfortable in my own skin, and it's okay for you to be comfortable in yours too. So what's my home is when I look in my eyes, when I look at my skin, when I look at my hair, when I look at me, just in general, that's my home. It's not even about the cars that you drive. It's not even about the clothes that you wear. It's not even about your house. It's about your energy that you instill in everything. That's what home is. Everybody have that home. We all have that home. We choose to like have things outside of us to make us feel like we're at home, but we already are that. The things around us is just a reflection of what we already have inside of us. And ain't that beautiful, y'all? I can see y'all smiling eyes. Forget the faces, forget the smiles. I'm looking at your eyes. Your eyes are beautiful. All of y'all. Your souls are beautiful. And I don't even know if y'all see that in yourselves, though. Do y'all even see what I see? Are y'all looking at what I look at? I know y'all see me. So I look at me every day. But do y'all even see yourself, though? I do. So if don't nobody see y'all, I do. So just know, your home is right where you at. And anything that gravitates to you is right where it's supposed to be. Thank y'all. Got that part. I'm on Instagram at Pour Sunshine. That's POOR and then Sunshine and then add an underscore. And then you're gonna see my homie Sunshine Man. I had locks for like 12 years. So that's like my logo. And like you can take a look at some of my pieces and stuff though. Like y'all don't got to get nothing if y'all can't get nothing, that's okay. It's just the fact that like I appreciate y'all even like having interest in my stuff. So that's what that is. Thank you.
All right, so for those that weren't here, this is Poetry Unplugged. We are an open mic experience that wants to bridge the gap from one artist to another, where poets, artists, singers, rappers can be limitless in their expression. So when you come up here, you ain't gotta worry about what you can or can't not say. You can say whatever you want. You don't have to say a poem. You don't have to sing a song. You could just come up here and give us a motivational speech. You could come up here and read somebody else's poem if you give them the credit. You know, you could just come up here and do you. If you got just one little comment or a quote to say, that's something you can come up here and say too. So yeah, I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna edge us back on in with a poem. I'm gonna say the first poem I ever said at an open mic. This poem is called Selfless. I wrote this in 2019. It was my introduction back into poetry and writing and stuff like that. I wrote it in response to somebody had asked me like, what do you do? And I'm like, I don't do anything, I just go to work. And he's like, you do something, you do something. He was a producer. He was like, I'm like, I used to write poetry, but that was like 10 years old, when 12, 15, that was a long time ago. And then he was like, well, I'm about to write you something, and then I want you to write something in response. So this is the poem, Selfless. It's easy to write about you. It comes natural, actually. You're one with nature. I'm kind of outdoorsy. I'm into nature. It's in my nature to want you naturally. See, I want to know you to the bone, unleash your soul, pour your all into me. Put your all into me. I want all of you. This is soul time, but this ain't sin, what we doing. Nah, this is raw. You showing me what God always wanted me to see. Love. And when I feel that, I act on it. I'm learning your language. You speak to me creatively, to my creativity. You speak to the higher me. Now higher me, let me employ feelings you ain't never felt before. I'd make you full off of love. I'd make a full out of love, pepper, set her out. You be bending corners trying to figure out what you gonna do for it. What you gonna do for love. And I don't have to acquire your lifestyle to love you like you need. No, baby, I love you through your ages, your changes, your stages, and your cravings. I love you like you're pregnant with my baby, and if the tables turn, I can make you a husband before I make you a baby daddy. I'm speaking to the inner you, not potential. You are who you are, no need for an interview. I'm already feeling you. We soulmates, twin flames. If your fire burns out, I work on your wood. We gonna get the spark back like spark plugs. My positives to yours, your negatives to mine. Our energy, it charges each other, and I want to ensure that my energy is healthy. So I'm giving you the best of me, not just what's rest of me or what's left of me. I'm fully charged, I'm whole. I see me in you. I see greatness, wealth, and abundance seeping through your skin. I see art oozing out of you. Reflecting on my past, yeah, I needed that. I needed them. They got me ready for you. I got needs in you. I plant my seeds in you. My follow through is to water you. I want to see you grow within, with or without me. I'm selfless when it comes to you. I think about myself less when it comes to you. Boom. All right, thank you guys. So the next artist I'm gonna have come up to the stage. Also, that poem is on Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon, Google Play, blase. It's under my poetry EP, was called A Steward's Heart. It's 3 poems, that's one of them. I recorded it last year, super excited. I had another project coming out next year. I don't know how it's going to be yet. I'm still creating and thinking for what it is. Before I call anybody up here, I'm gonna just tell y'all about me because I just feel like talking. This year I really went another route with my poetry because generally speaking, I only used to talk about love. I never talked about myself in poetry. I always just talked about somebody else, had a muse, those type of things when I wrote. So now this year I've really been going back into my childhood trauma, my teenage trauma, and writing about those things, my relationship with family, my relationship with friends, my relationship with myself. So a lot of my poetry now is a little bit more grittier, a little bit more glory. It's not as lovey and none of that. It ain't like that no more. Sorry, I ain't got it. But I'm very happy where I am creatively, and I think that it's super important for artists to be able to explore themselves and dive in deep. And a lot of time we get up here and be on the surface talking about energy and all these different things, but not really going beneath the surface and really diving into who we are and who we are as creatives, and even kind of going down a rabbit hole and getting lost in yourself. Sometimes I think we so used to giving ourselves away that we don't keep nothing for ourselves. So super excited about what's to come. And I've had some beautiful opportunities within the last couple of months. I wrote 2 poems for the government. So you should be seeing them on commercial and stuff like that. So that's new.
That government cheese.
I'm getting that government cheese. You know what I'm talking about. Let me see. But the next artist I'm going to have come up to the stage is, So I told you I was a part of this group called The Sparrow's Fortune. He's a part of this group too. You've seen Avery already. But I'm going to have Quiet Kid come up to the stage. Clap him all the way up to the mic real quick.
Nobody ever listens to me. Nobody ever asks either. They understand parts of the poem. Nobody questions the person, but everybody wants the poet. It's almost like people have selective sight to the poems I write. I began writing to prove a point, to be understood, because people are only forced to hear me when I'm on a stage. I do it because I actually have social anxiety. People don't listen when I talk, so I speak. And lately I've come to the realization that no one ever listens when I'm speaking either. Not enough to to understand me. Maybe my poems just aren't meant to be understood. People only understand when they listen close, but nobody ever listens close. Nobody ever hears my quiet, even when it's the loudest thing in the room. And y'all always say how it's the loudest thing in the room, right? Well, I guess every poem that I've ever said has been to a bunch of deaf ears, and I'm insecure, so I let the disabled disarm me, then use my own quiet to harm me. It's ironic how quiet it gets whenever I'm present, because no one ever tells they don't understand me. They just quietly wish they could, but they still find themselves feeling entertained and entitled. Riddle me this. Since when does the addict have authority over the dealer? You get nothing trying to police your way into understanding how polished I am. Everybody wants to speak my language, but nobody ever wants to understand my language. So what's the point of speaking when no one wants to understand the words you use?
You got it, Chloe.
Actually, I'm gonna just switch poems, fuck that. All right, so she was a shielded light, hiding her shine from the one who admired it most, and cutting herself off from those too affectionate for her comfort. She was brilliance and beauty breaking, all bundled into perfection personified. She was a black hole, bleeding lights. My eyes make love to her whenever I look at her. I never meant for her to mean so much to me. My eyes attempt to marry her and mate with her whenever we lock eyes. So in my eyes, we're married. In my imagination, she's my wife. And I write her poems like proposals and performances like renewing vows. And so I've asked her on like 8 different occasions awkwardly now, like, can you just marry me? Like, can you commit to me and submit to me willingly? Can you just be my wife, my lover, my final soulmate? Can you love me like you would let me get on my knees for you and tell you how much I thank God that you exist? Let me look you in your eyes and compare you to the sun. At times, I mistake you for the moon, though. The way you tend to light up my darkest hours. You be my stars and my stem cells. You be the everything to my everything and everything in between. You be my fractals and my fractions. So can you just be my muse? Because I would like to someday make you immortal. And that's what I told her. Told her at some point in my life I would rather just buy her the whole universe just to remind her, but until then, sometimes the poem is just a quick reminder. Hi, I love you. Sometimes I hate myself for loving you. Poem. So, y'all can find me on Instagram at QuietKid21_. And it was QuietKid_20, but I just turned 21 a couple weeks ago. So I'm legal in this motherfucker now. So yeah. So yeah, y'all should really follow me. Y'all should legally follow me because I'm a legal nigga. And y'all should also buy hoodies. I sell personalized hoodies legally. So y'all should buy those. You know, I gotta emphasize it because I ain't never been here before. Alright, but that's all though. Peace.
Shout out to Quiet Kid. He just did his thing up there real quick. Alright, so the next artist we got coming up to the stage is Geronimo. Clap him all the way up to the stage.
Good evening. Happy to be here.
Good evening.
Yeah. What's good, G? I just want to flex one time. I got to meet Nikki Giovanni this morning. Some people was there.
I saw you.
Yeah. That was legendary.
Yes, it was.
So I went to work, and all I could think about was getting on the mic and doing some poetry. I'm a tattoo artist and poet. I work at Tattoo 16 on Lee Road. So if y'all into that type of ink, I got that type of ink too. So y'all about to get this type of ink.
Period.
Yeah. Hey, little brown bear. Little brown teddy bear. I be seeing your little ugly ass everywhere. Seeing you in hats or with heart-shaped bellies and bow ties. Even little suits or boots got you looking kind of fly. But you know what? I ain't never really liked you, Teddy Bear. Just being honest. It's just something about the optics, how I always see you when the death of brown boys and girls is a topic. I be seeing you everywhere. I saw you on my way to work, on my way to the mall shopping, or the curb by the handicap park, and taking my kids to the park, or on my way to the supermarket. Brown bear, you know I hate you. Brown bear, I hate you, Teddy Bear. Cause it seems like you always here, like you always near, like you wash your paws in black mother's tears. I fucking hate you. You and your other goons, tanned with candles and heart-shaped balloons, empty bottles of vodka and cognac at the crossroads, but it would be crazy to wish on a wishbone just to have one of them little girls or boys back. I feel lucky if I had to deal with Annabelle or Chucky instead of you. You've turned my entire city into a cemetery. Candlelight visuals are just unusual outdoor funerals. I bet you think it looks beautiful. Waiting to pop up when another dies, while the eulogy doesn't come from a pastor, but from a mother's cries. Fuck you, Teddy Bear. Fuck you, I fucking hate you. My arms is tired for being a pallbearer because you keep taking all the pallbearers. So yeah, my arms is getting strong, but my insides is getting weak. Got me lying when I say I don't go to church. Because of you, I'm at a service every week. I know it's not fair, because you're not inherently evil. But Teddy, I gotta hate you instead of hating my own people. Brown bear, you know I hate you. Brown bear. Because it's all black boys we have to teach how to behave when dealing with the police. It's all black boys that have to deal with the grief as people seeing them crossing the street. It's all black boys that resonate with the rejection from women because he's not a drug dealer, a scammer, and took weapons. It's all black boys that suffer from street culture, black boy UP culture. But all across the nation, any location is death or prison waiting. The cancel culture don't want to cancel that. It's all black boys that suffer from the racial biases from principals and teachers. No matter the skin complexion, black boy, your skin's a weapon used against you to continue the school to prison pipeline. It's all black boys, all black boys. It's all black boys forced to get it in the streets. Because father left home and mama can't provide enough to eat. Shoes on their feet. She got a new man and he drive caddy, so she's divorced from her children because they look just like their daddy. It's all black boys that suffer from emotional drowning because all we know is we're supposed to suck it up and be a man and be the man, but unaware how to process sadness and anger make black boys not want to breathe again. It's all black boys. It's all black boys found in empty fields, dressed in an outfit that could be found in a store near you. 3 slugs to the chest. His body decaying, but damn, he looks fresh. Balloons and teddy bears on street poles to be an unkept monument for more black boys to find it when they'll be next. It's all black boys whose best way to make it to college and out the streets is to become an athlete. When coaches is commenting how big his ass is and checking your teeth, that combine with slavery always looks strange to me. But black boy don't care. He trying to buy his mama a house. He promised give his little sister a bank account so she don't have to rely on another black boy. If that black boy is being honest, it's our black boys, our black boys, our black boys. Thank you. Y'all can find me at my Instagram is Momotac. That's JERONIMOTATC. Thank you, guys.
That was crazy. That was super dope. That was amazing, actually. You could write a whole, that could be one book. That could just be a book. You should do that. All right. Ooh, that was a lot. I felt that one. I did. All right, so, wow. Yeah. So the next artist I'm gonna have come up to the stage is Jewel Justice. Clap her all the way up to the stage.
Hello. promotes justice. I recently, within the last year and a half, gotten back to the poetic side of me and have been doing open mics. And Morgan and TP have been nice enough to let me grace the stage whenever I do pull up. However, when I grace the stage, I normally only do one poem and then run off the stage. So I was told I was not allowed to do that today. So recently I've been going through a lot emotionally, and I've been allowing those emotions to come out in my poetry. So I'm going to do two poems that are a juxtaposition to one another. The first poem is what my anticipation was, and the expectations that I had. And the second poem is what I actually received. Are you willing to become one? Allow our roots to become tangled and intertwined, vines tied to one another, bearing new fruits, with the resources found amongst our interwoven roots. Are you willing to grow and prosper with me? Water and encourage one another, restoring, replenishing, sowing and tending, reaping. Are you willing to work towards our mending? Work on this self-healing journey for us to come together. See, are you ready for me to be one with you? Are you willing to tend to the fruits that we bear? Are you willing to work for this harvest, fertilize and till the land, preparing it to receive and multiply? If so, I am ready and willing to plant those seeds with you. Sow into us so that we may reap this harvest together. Home. So this next one is going to be a few poems pieced together because the emotions came to me more than once. And so I just wrote it out in short verse, but it ended up being one poem. This is the first poem that is more than a minute and a half long for me, so we'll see. And it's still untitled. You found solace in my bosom, strength in my messages, my words of encouragement. They helped you rebuild your brokenness. Yet in my moment of weakness, you were not there to be found. You disappeared from my life quicker than Houdini. You were gone with no trace. See, I was there for you, rearranged my day to support you, and you were so unwilling to do the same. How do I continue to make the same mistakes? Pouring all of my love into one vase only to have it never return to me. See this lip service, it has no actions. These promises have been broken and your presence was needed, wanted and craved. Yet I was left with the hollow words and no definitive deeds. There was no reciprocity of my time that you so willingly devoured. You thought that I would allow you to continue to play me like a fiddle. Will you have played my heartstrings for the last time? And the irony of the statements is not lost on me. These emotions that I have felt, they have me left at sea. I will not say I'm lost, although these motions, they drift through me. And this anchor that's under the water has finally been lifted. I've allowed myself to flow with the ebbing of the ups, the downs, the push, the pull, the ins, the outs, the rise, the fall of tides. I'm here, present in this moment, amongst the darkness of the night, only lit by the moon and the stars above, allowing the constellations to be my guide, and the wind in my sails to move me. I've become one with nature. So that every time that you have wanted to find relax and release with me, and I was that place of peace, and every trip you came and found your relax and release, your emotions and pains into me. Yet when I needed you, there was no reciprocity. You weren't there to allow me to relax into you, unburden myself in your presence, and you took my presence for granted. And I would show up when you sent the text, rarely a phone call, yet I was far from being the reason that we were disconnected most times. My attempts to reach you would go so unresponsive. And Lord knows I poured more into you than myself. I spoke more over you than myself. I encouraged you, my tongue being one of healing for you. Yet your silent tongue did so much damage to me. And I wonder why it was hard for you to see just how much you were draining me. Thank you. I can be found on Instagram at Jeweled Justice. Again, that's Jeweled Justice. Thank you.
Thank you, Jewel Justice. All right, so the next artist we're gonna call up to the stage is Just Cuz. Just Cuz, come to the stage. Come him all the way up to the stage real quick. I'm calling myself up to the stage.
Hey y'all. Hey. Yeah, I need some energy. If y'all cool, say cool. Cool. If y'all cool, say cool. Alright, what's up? If y'all don't know me, my name Just Cuz. Y'all know who Morgan is. Duh. Alright, cool. I'm finna say some words. They pushed us into boxes, packaged our hearts, taped our mouths, and forgot to mark us as fragile. And we got sent into this world alone.
Where we ended up, clearly we had no destination. We just let our minds wander. We roamed through people, experiences, places, never really settled to a home.
But ain't that what makes a traveler anyway? A soul willing to wind up just about anywhere. It must have been destined for us to create our own destinies despite the darkness we've been deserted in. Cause now, we be daredevils, no longer afraid to be destitute. It ain't like we ain't been down below before.
It ain't like we ain't crawled through the mud, traveled through hell with no water. It ain't like we haven't starved before. Somehow, we done went without, lost everything, and still we managed to have more. How about that for survival? Have you ever subsisted in the wilderness, talking about what y'all woulda did? See, our dirt still leaves a residue. No matter how many times we clean ourselves up, our pain still leaves a stain. Our past still clings on to us.
And still we rise. And still we hold our heads up high. And still we choose humility over pride. And still we ride waves in the depths of the night. Cause what can drowning do to someone who learned how to swim through misery?
We waded through currents unseen. We are the product of mystery, the unfathomable. Sometimes it feels like you learned us to our capacity, but still, it's vital you learn our history, to bring clarities to our rarities, to see all the doorsteps we've arrived at, to track all the hands that have opened us and used us to gain some sort of understanding of why we can't just lie dormant or be possessed. Our souls were meant to be packed and sealed. Our purpose is priceless.
What do we look like being sold? Or selling ourselves out for the sake of anyone else's visions of who we are? To be learned just a little too late that we were too big to fit in boxes, but then again, maybe it was right on time. Maybe it took being battered and bruised. Maybe it took being misunderstood and misused. Maybe it took being sent to the wrong address again and again and again to finally be sick and tired of only being seen at the surface and admired from afar. We always knew we would be much more.
So more is what we are. What are boxes? Giants, stair steps. The very means to us finding our way. The very reason we are who we are today. All of this potential cooped up into four walls. We finally decided that our arrival wasn't going to be tracked down by anybody else's expectations of us. We just decided to arrive and arrive well. We decided to be and be well. And we decided to do and do well, and that is how we deliver. That is how we fulfill our orders, and this is how we supply needs.
Cause we be what the world needs. The nuances between now and forever. We found our niche in the folds of these pages. We perfect our craft as we pursue our path. We waited patiently We waited patiently for time to tell us how to solve all of this fragmented math. We went to class. We studied from dawn until dusk, and somehow it still wasn't enough. But then we came to realize that maybe not even time is for us. That's why we be timeless. So yeah, I got this video on. And so I'm part of a great group of creators called the Sparrow's Fortune. We do joint shows, so me and Morgan, actually we got a show tomorrow. It's gonna be at Jackson's Motif, that's 1540 St. Clair. Doors open at 5, you can come kick it. We're gonna get it cracking at 6. But it's mainly about self-development through relationships, recognizing who you are, even in the midst of another person, but also dealing with yourself and recognizing that a lot of these things start with you for real. Yeah, it's rebirth, healing, all that good stuff, so I'm really appreciative of Morgan. She rock. Can y'all clap it up for her one more time, y'all? Cool. So, like I said, I'm with a great group of creators. Y'all heard Quiet Kid? Y'all like Quiet Kid Peace? Yeah. He part of the gang. This other dude named, what's his name? It's this dude with he be singing. Did he sing? Did he sing today? This is dude who be singing. But yeah, I got this piece with him. Come spit it, bro. Tell him move faster. He be taking his time.
No bass. Ah, jeez.
Yo, as a creative, I be forgetting a lot of stuff because I be trying to remember.
Watch me not look at this song. Watch me not look at it.
I stepped into my evil lair today.
And for the first time, it felt like home.
I rubbed my hands, laughing maniacally. What a maniac I turned out to be, right? You over there, mad at me, but baby, I'm only what you make of me.
Making me the antagonist of your story only gives you the storybook ending that you so desperately want. You need me to stand in your way so that you can defeat and then stand over me triumphantly. You don't want me to be on your side. It doesn't make an exciting enough story.
And isn't that so anticlimactic anyway? Don't you need more of a ride? I mean, we've established you like riding.
Hey.
But that's beyond the point. When I'm not looking to pick you, you have fingers to point. We're only meeting our end because of the place you chose to park. But don't you need more of a roller coaster? More of a story to tell your friends I tried coasting? I mean, we could be toasting, but you'd rather me be toast.
Rather me be eaten up by the public, the media. I mean, men are pigs, right? So go ahead, cook me, bake me. I'm easier to stomach that way. God forbid I be good now. Now, we like bad boys in this house. Black leather jackets, rebels, the only cause being the narrative you want to present, so go ahead. Present.
Make a case. Cause a scene. Show them how easily eyes can turn green. I bet I can make text turn green faster, so let's race. And we'll see how quickly you will have makeup running down your face, and I hope your tears taste like all of those bittersweet nothings you said to me. Like all of those bittersweet poems you read me, I really hope those get erased. I much rather you dead me, but instead you perpetually birth your perspective as if I'm the dead.
And I am a deadbeat, that is. Or at least I will be once I dead this, I guess, situationship, because you and I no longer march to the same beat. We was 2, 4, 6, 8, until I realized that you always wanted to be number 1, and I was always the odd one out of your 3-act, 2-character story, so I guess it's both of our faults there, huh? And you hate that, don't you? A forced shared negligence, an accident that's actually both of our faults. See, if left up to you, the fault be the only 50-50 thing in our relationship where both sides of the fraction belong to me. See, I be both the arch nemesis of the numerator and the demon of the denominator because you are just such an angel, right?
Leave it to you. Shouldn't heaven always be on your side? But if I remember correctly, you were on demon time. Giving everybody else slices of my pie. What in hell of a fraction it would be if you and I were to actually split the blame equally. You've made this much more of a problem than it had to be. See, we could have solved this casually. But instead, here we are. You playing the victim when I'm actually the casualty. No causality due to your morphed reality. But you know what? It's cool to call me villain. I'm glad to be. I'm moving on to be the man that I have to be.
To be honest, I don't really know who that is just yet. I spent so much time being the bad guy to somebody else's story that I haven't taken the time out to write my own. I haven't given any thought of what kind of characters I want, or how many, how I want my plot to thicken, or how I want my story to end. I haven't thought about any of that because I thought that nobody else wanted to hear this villain's backstory. But I should have one. I mean, every good villain does. I mean, every good man does. And I'm a good man. I promise. You just can't see it yet. I don't want to.
And I don't want you to feel as though you have to. But don't cancel me out simply because you haven't done the math to see just how much of an asset I can be. And I don't even mean to say that boastfully, but you acting like you wasn't close to me. You acting like I didn't place all of these extras on the set exactly where they were supposed to be. You acting like I don't know how I should be directing me. You tried jumping in the camera like being seen next to me wasn't a luxury. I'm not mad at myself, because I wanted to let you.
So I guess it is my fault then. That I wanted to experience something with you, so I ignored all the signs, you know, the caution tape, the flashing lights, the alarms blaring through the atmosphere, fearing that without you I'd be nothing. But in actuality, with you, I'm worse than nothing. I'm the something that stands in the way of you achieving anything, everything. I mean, at least in your book, in your story. And your script, sickening, isn't it? A villain that's aware of his infidelities, a person who plays the role of a rogue Casanova who now knows that his version of the story will never be told. But you know what? I hear the greatest films have lessons, and the greatest fables have morals, so what have you learned?
This is your story,
right? So what are you teaching
us? Tell us about all of the epiphanies you've had because of me. Tell us about how you found yourself in the depths of my betrayal. Tell us about how love lies. And then tell us about what you learned about lust, about truth, about trust. I mean, I've given you an entire book, right? The text you type surely do so seams between all of these blank pages, and to be real, I don't think you and I have ever found ourselves on the same one. It makes complete sense. Why you still feel the need to keep flipping me off, keep bending my edges, keep bookmarking me for later.
Dog-earing me, creasing me, making sure you leave your mark on me, making sure you bite me before I ever get the chance to box. You must have been following that trend of masters biting their dog's ears to assert dominance. But now all of a sudden you got a mad dog acting as if you got a bad dog, but in actuality, not all barks are for the same reason. See, sometimes I bark out of anger, sometimes I bark out of glee, and sometimes my barks are really yelps, really cries for help, but you don't want to hear what I have to say. You just rather I be your dog. No opposable thumbs. Forget any form of opposition. See, you don't want me to hold on to any truth. You just rather I obey. You want me to sit whenever you want to feel taller when you stand, lie down whenever you want to assert your dominance, and play dead whenever you want to claim you living your best life, because men be dogs, right?
Or do they be pigs?
Or basically, any animal that can be put in a cage. Anything that can be put behind bars, like a bad villain at the end of a good story. Ain't that how all of your stories end?
So I took it, dang. Alright, cool. So I got a beat. It's not done, but I just finished it this morning. Y'all wanna hear that, or y'all wanna hear something else? Like
both.
No.
Not both. You said what?
First thing.
Alright, cool. This like new. I don't be telling y'all about like my real life, but I'm starting to in my work. Like I used to tell y'all about the past. Like I'm getting to a point where I'm telling you about like right now type things. But alright, this is called On Receiving. I really like this poem.
I do too.
Yeah, Morgan ain't heard it yet. So we be sending poems to each other like literally every single day. But yeah, sorry dog. Alright, go like this. She asked if I do a good job at receiving love, and I laughed. Not because I thought the question was funny, but because that's just how I respond when I'm nervous. My nervous system started to do this when I was young. A way of emotional regulation when I didn't know how to regulate myself. In other words, it's ingrained. A sly method of self-management. My body has learned to hide our dismay, a shortcut defense mechanism when my amygdala begins to feel afraid. My laugh reminds us that everything is okay, or at least should be. Now, as I explain all this, she said, I changed the subject, which is not entirely true, but I see how she came to that conclusion, so I refrained from any more rambling, any more rambunctious chattering, and began to choose my next few words carefully. It's not that I'm bad at receiving love, I just don't know how to separate love from any other form of endearment. You see, to me, love is both the fruit and the seed, the laugh and the joke that comes before it, both the fire and the forest. Which means I've seen love uprooted. I've seen love not land how it was supposed to. I've seen love burn. And after a while, I no longer wanted it to burn me. I've learned to look out for the warning signs. Eyes opening so wide you can peer in to see all the tiny universes thriving inside. Grins so big they become potholes for a fast-moving mind. The subtle touches, the total erasure of time, the invitations to meet friends and family. And this is where I began to pull over roadside, recalibrate my direction, check my tires, pull out my compass, make sure we both know where we're headed, retrace our steps, find the point in time when I began to neglect the simple fact that my version of love is just big. The type of love that most people only reserve for lovers is what I often lend to friends. I understand the importance of boundaries in every other area of life, but my way of displaying love just doesn't have it. It's not that I don't know how to receive love. It's that I don't know how to limit the love I give, and oftentimes it is returned to me packed with potential and sealed with stolen kisses and labeled fragile, no bubble wrap inside, no styrofoam. I am given a heart I did not ask for with no option to return to sender, but am expected to send mine over as a fair trade. I've said all of this to say, the truth is, I'm afraid of taking the fruit of your love, knowing that the root of mine isn't yours to own quite yet. I'm afraid of taking your laughter, knowing the joke didn't hit the punchline. See, I laugh so you don't have to. I laugh because I'm scared. I'm scared of sparking a flame in your heart, knowing mine is still a forest filled with dead trees waiting for another smile to light me ablaze. I struggle with receiving love because I don't want to take it unless I know I'm truly present enough to reciprocate. I'm trying to say this the right way. You see, people fall in love with only fractions of me. I often feel too large to fit inside of one person. My language of love is no different. So when you begin to offer me yours, I start to keep my distance, because I know that accepting the love you have to offer would be taking your all. And deep down, I don't believe you can truly hold all of me. Maybe half of my pretty, maybe bits and pieces of my ugly due to my past transgressions. I honestly don't even want you to trust me, but here I am. At least trying my hand again, hoping this time it will be different, hoping this time I don't allow you to fall flat on your face, hoping this time I can receive your love, resting in faith. That's that piece. Thank you all. Thank y'all. Yeah, that's like literally like, I don't even think I'm finished with it for real. But Geronimo, that's my dog, so I always gotta, I'm gonna do that. But yeah, like I said, my name just cuz, JUSTC.O.S. The C.O.S stands for collection of seeds, so I hope that my words acted as seeds today, that they plant in your heart and they grow something fruitful and beautiful and all that good stuff. Yeah, follow me on Instagram. I got some books with me in the whip. If y'all trying to grab a book, you know what I mean? It's called Evolving Love Has No Reality. If you want to know more about it, come tap in with me. Like I said, I got a great team of poets. Shout out to all the homies, Quiet Kid, Morgan Page, Avery Lamar Pope. Shout out to Mixed Rose, but she's not here right now. Come to me and Morgan show tomorrow. I'm telling y'all that, like, this is not, I'm not asking. Like, y'all have to be there. But, all right, cool. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all.
It's crazy when you know somebody, like when you hear their poetry, you're like, oh, okay. And then they be honest like that. He was being really, really honest in that poem, so I really appreciate that. And I'm glad that you feel comfortable to be on this stage, sharing your honesty and your life like that with us. So the next artist I'm gonna have come up to the stage is Dana. Dana, come up to the stage, clap her all the way up.
Hey, I'm Dana. I'm a poet and an author. I have 2 books available on Amazon. My Instagram page is queen_Dana216. So you can find out more information about me on there. I have a couple of poems I want to do. The first one is called The Vertigo Woman. They called her the Vertigo Woman. She spins. Often called crazy, confused, or wild, she spins. Doctors want to prescribe medication and bed rest. She spins. Body aches, head hurts, she spins. People ponder, she spins. People shake their heads in disbelief, she spins. People don't understand, she spins. Animals are killing for more than just food, she spins. Insects are dying off, she spins. Mankind is more violent than ever before, she spins. Ice caps melting, she spins. Earth is rotating off rhythm, she spins. She spins, she spins, to get the world back on track. The second poem I'm going to do is called Righteous. I am righteous for starting every week with a poem, bowing my head, hearing prayers in between each word. I am forever guilty for kneeling to nature over man. Those who say seeds can't grow from tears never seen the rain fall. Last time I checked, you didn't need a degree to be righteous. Great people aren't made by spoiling, just like prophets aren't made by institutions. How determined are we finding peace with pistols in our face, still walking the streets with targets on our back? If running away was a form of healing, we'd all be healed. Maybe that's why I like my communications clear and conscious, free of confusion. Maybe that's why wolves howl at the moon to make sure the world doesn't end. Then again, maybe it should. Guess I will throw muzzles on the wolves and stop cycles from being in sync. Tell the stars to stop shining so bright. Stop raining hope and love. Stop dreamers from dreaming. Stop decision makers from having free will. Just give up. What if we just gave up being righteous? Thank you.
Love to hear it, love to see it, Black love. All right now. Okay, so the next artist we're gonna have come up to the stage is Josh. Clap him all the way up. Clap him all the way up this way. Clap him all the way up. This is our DJ for the evening, but
What's good, family? Y'all good? Y'all ain't getting sleepy, is y'all?
No.
Alright, cool. Alright, so I'm mad nervous. I should start out by saying that. Last poem I wrote was 5 years ago, 2017. I'm not a poet, but thanks for letting me share it with you. I also just want to, before I get started, I felt led to come up here and just speak some good news to y'all. This space was healing for me. I don't know how many other people kind of felt that, but I lost my mentor, a really close friend. She was 34 years old. I lost her to breast cancer last week. Went to her service this morning. Been running ever since, so that's the real reason I'm wearing all black. But I appreciate y'all for just being raw and sharing and now allowing me to share. So buckle up. This poem is titled The Final Lesson Before Dying, and it's a poem I adapted from another Christian poet. It says, I survived to tell this story, but really I died to be revived for his glory. You see, there's a death that my breath must take daily, knowing that only God can really save me. Prostrate, I lay in wait for the life that he gave me, and even though he slay me, yet will I trust him. His will be done in the midst of pain and suffering and crying. You see, my God teaches us the final lesson before dying. With prerequisites of a sacrificial selflessness that's undenying, the removal of the exterior, what gets in the ulterior motive that's underlying, cause and effectage that catch the flesh and diseases, leaving bone and marrow rested in pieces, where the last breath becomes the first step in walking with Jesus. Annihilating desires from a heart that grows trees. And you see, this is the final state that at daybreak the sun will kill demons. And this is not the twilight, but it can happen in a twinkle. So please, don't blink. Because this is the last scene of the final sequel. Because faith comes by hearing, so God declares unbelieving and unspeaking as equal. And in 1 John 3:16, hereby we perceive the love of God because he laid down his life for us. So that lesson before dying is that sacrificing is a must, because through Christ, God has ignited a new life into me. A life like Christ defies lies of the enemy. I'm seeking for Eden in the Garden of Gethsemane, suffering and weeping, but in due season I'm reaping all the promises that God has promised me. I'm being filled by the anointing while these spirits in pain and agony, and I'm praying that this cup pass from me. But if I reject him or his hand, I understand not to be blasphemy. So right now, I'm willing to do whatever you ask of me. So I'm...
Good. You got it, Lord.
So I'll give him myself in exchange of my identity. You see, my heart had prepared purifications and my hands in position of surrendering my mind. Lest the thoughts are still lingering. Sometimes I feel that I'm getting my life by losing my virginity. You see, my lifestyle is denied by divinity. I'm rejecting the word, but accepting Christ-filled tendencies, like comparing first miracle water into wine to last cause coke and hitters. While false prophets pull profits out of end-time prophecy, so Judas ain't the only one making money off the teacher's copy. And Peter denied Christ thrice, and we live a life in the same monotony, becoming victims of our own decisions while declaring God got me. So stop me if you're willing to act like you don't hear the Holy Spirit knocking, seeking and asking for more. You see, Christ can't live in the same sins that he died for. Because we ought to be living epistles, flesh crucified off the scriptures, hung, bled, and died. Jesus rose just to reach us, left his spirit just to teach us. And even though the angels in heaven cry, holy, holy, holy. You see, God loved us so much that he gave up his own, hoping that the word would not fall on a stone, because he said that forced with just a little bit of tribulation, you would say you didn't know me. And if faith without works is dead, then what are you really showing me? Because a man without God is almost like a creature without conscience. And Paul described the description within Scripture to avoid all the nonsense. So listen with your life or perish with your lack of knowledge, because only with omittance will the omniscient get homage. And if not, you're just engaging in a flesh fight with no causes, like sentences with no pauses, prepositions with no clauses. Overall, it's senseless, even though it was your senses that sentenced the verb to fall down. See, we miss heaven's assignments over nouns, peoples, places, things, and ideas. Making lifestyle choices based on how things appear, wavering in faith but walking in fear, while reciting the three magical words, hoping it'll all disappear. God, forgive me. When really it should be the same words but inverted. What can me give for God? Because worship is the only circus that causes real conviction of being converted. You see, this is the final service, so prepare your flesh to be deserted. As light blinds darkness and the Holy Spirit is inserted, corrupt communication is now reworded. The flesh is murdered. Jesus fulfilled the final assignment of the lesson before dying, and he left his word for us to learn. In return, we became conformed in the image of his reflection, that we may know him in the power of his resurrection, and the fellowship of his suffering, be conformed into his death. So let's crucify the flesh till it's nothing but Christ left. Thank you all. Follow me on Instagram at Josh_THEDJ. It's Josh_the DJ. I also have my personal Instagram where I share a lot more of just my story and my walk at Joshua.l.hill. So appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Give it up, Josh. Please surprise me with that. So crazy. Wow. Wow. Oh, wow. So me and Josh know each other because we met at my job. We work at CHN Housing Partners. So yeah, we do a lot of community work at that nonprofit. So yeah, tap in with us if you need some rental assistance, you need some home buying education, you want to get a down payment on your home, you don't want to have to save up all that money. Yeah. All right, so the last artist we're gonna have come up to the stage is Tom T.P. Parker. Clap him all the way up.
What's up, y'all? Before I start talking, I just want to just give a round of applause for everybody who just stepped up here before me. So I'm gonna close this thing. I was talking to Raven, and we just talking about poetry. I'm like, man, I'm really just a fan of this. During the intermission, I saw y'all networking. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for listening and rocking with each other. But I'm really just a fan of this. And when I first got here, around 6:15, me and Quiet Kid, we went upstairs. This is my third time being here. The first time we had our event, and then we had a meeting here, and then this is my third time here, and I felt inspired. I just felt inspired, and I've been feeling moved all day. So I just want to share some stuff with y'all, some points, and then I'll get to my poem, and then we'll get out of here. Is that cool?
That's cool.
Okay. So I had to write it down so I wouldn't forget. My poem that I wrote, this is my favorite poem. It's called Peace. And what I want to talk about is peace. When I went upstairs today, I had noticed for the first time, Morgan, that on the left side of the room is black and white. And she was showcasing what her mom did in the 1970s with the Kent State riots, right? Her mom was there. I think she was teaching. I'm not sure exactly what her mom was doing, but her mom was there. And then on the right side of the room is color. She went back and she took pictures. I'm like, all right, man. I'm like, oh, I put that together. I'm like, that's dope, because that's dope. But then in the back room, I don't know if y'all got a chance to go there. It was like a movie. I guess her dad went and the Japanese, right? The Japanese massacres. It was very similar to the Kent State riots, but the Japanese massacres, 50 to 100 people died, and then they buried them horribly. And then 30 years later, they finally properly buried them. I'm like, wow, if you think about it, what Renee's Green is doing, with her mind and with her art, she's trying to show us, she's teaching us. And I thought about peace. I'm like, where do you find peace in that? It's hard to find peace in that. But I just wanted to highlight that, just because we want to highlight Renee Green, right? We want to highlight her art. She's from Cleveland and she's doing a dope thing. So that was the first piece. Highlight Renee Green and what in my mind, how I connected those dots. I like how she put that together. She's super dope. And then I want to just talk about myself a little bit, because when I finish my poem, we're going to close. I'm I'm a teacher, I'm a coach, I'm a serial entrepreneur, I'm a leader, and most importantly, I'm a humble servant, right? And I've been spending a lot of time with my kids. I just became the head coach at Unplugged High School, and I got a lot of people that's like, that I'm leading. And I'm dealing with these kids. I just came from St. Ignatius. That's a very affluent community, right? And the reason why I left is because I'm like, they needed me in a way to just show them a different side. I'm like, I need to go to Euclid to get with these kids because they need me. Like, I can actually help them. Like, I'm just like them. I just was blessed enough to get to it. I went to Ignatius. I was blessed enough to get there. And so being in this poverty-stricken neighborhood, right? And working with these kids, trying to help them find themselves through basketball, right? Through sports. I'm trying to do multiple things. I'm teaching them like the key to this piece is like knowing yourself. That the activity that you're doing, the work that you're doing that's external outside of you. That's just what you do. That's not who you are. I had to cuss some people. I'm like, I'm cutting you, but this basketball is not who you are. It's just what you do. So that's another piece. I've been able to find some peace inside of teaching these kids who they are, helping them find themselves. So that was one of the points I wanted to talk about. Being inspired here. I forgot your name. Geronimo, listening to your poem, I'm like, damn, like, I was moved because everything you said is real and true. And I'm trying to teach the kids a different way. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are who we are, but it's more to us. And then two more pieces, and they kind of go together. For me, I find like these past 2 weeks we had a community giveaway. I'm doing free basketball clinics. I used to run a business. I ain't been able to run my business, just doing everything for free. But I've been like, cool. It's crazy, like, and I remember when I joined my fraternity, I just wanted to be a part of something, a service-oriented situation. I'm like, I find peace in service. That's what I do. That's where I'm finding my peace at. Like, I'm busy as hell, but I'm finding peace of mind. And I think for all of us in here, before we get out of here, I think you work best in your mind, when you're at peace. All right. So I think that's the goal. To try to find that, search for that. And I believe it's inside of doing something for somebody. It's inside of some action. It ain't gonna happen just sitting there hoping and outside of any situation you got. So I just wanted to share those points because I felt moved today. I felt like that's what I was supposed to say. I never said this before I talked about my poem. I wrote this poem 2017. I was in a whole different place, man. And I said at Jackson's Motif, shout out to Jackson's Motif, shout out to AD, he's not here. Make sure y'all get there tomorrow and experience Jackson's Motif, 1540 St. Clair. The vibe inside of the venue is dope. And it's handmade. Like everything he did was with his vision, right? AD, DJ, you guys get in there. If you happen to get there, you just gonna feel at home. And that's why we decided to make Poetry Unplugged our home at Jackson's Motif. I'm like, Morgan, this home. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, this home, because you could just feel it. So make sure y'all get there. And just wanted to shout out Jackson's Motif. But let me get to my poems, get out of here. I don't know what y'all got to do after this. I'm gonna do this without looking at my phone. That's what I said last time I said it at Jackson's Motif. Peace. Apart from being a black male and fatherless for the majority of my life, I feel like I'm at war. Getting stretched, but still trying to keep myself together. Can you see the stress on my face? Probably not, because honestly, I know my presence is a gift. I'm uplifted at its finest. I'll hit you with a gut check that goes over your head. But I want to know, how much does peace cost? What I gotta do to escape my flesh? Part of me is tired of the meaningless sex, while the other half in savage mode, thinking about who I'ma hit next. Scrolling down my timeline, double tapping still pics, running from my purpose, but my pics still lit, see my focus off. Somebody give me a blues clue on what to do next. Should I stay and make a difference or leave and chase a check? I'm trying to get over the things I'm used to. They say you gotta lose to gain, and I want better. I want a peace of mind.
You got it.
I think I skipped some dope.
You got it, bro. You got it. You there now. Don't look at that phone, G.
I got to. Got to. Can I start over? Apart from being a black male and fatherless for the majority of my life, I feel like I'm at war, getting stretched but still trying to keep myself together. Can you see the stress on my face? Probably not, because honestly, I know my presence is a gift. I'm uplift at its finest. I hit you with a gut check that goes over your head. But I just want to know, how much does peace cost? What I gotta do to escape my flesh? Part of me is tired of the meaningless sex, while the other half in savage mode thinking about who I'm gonna hit next. Scrolling down my timeline, double tapping still pics, running from my purpose, but my pics still lit. I'm battling the irrational, expecting change, letting the irrelevant chatter make a new home in my brain, my screws loose. Somebody give me a blues clue on what to do next. Should I stay and make a difference or leave and chase a check? I just want to know, how much does peace cost? I'm trying to get over the things I'm used to. They say you gotta lose to gain, and I want better. I want a peace of mind. I want to be secure knowing that my woman crush Wednesday, not cheating on me with a throwback Thursday. I want to be more than your man crush Monday. I need you to love these flaws. I need something permanent, because feelings don't last these days. Look at me now. I barely sleep because I want it all. But at what price? My life? Where can I find her? Do they sell her at the store? You tell me be peaceful, but I can't afford to let these guards down. 10 toes down, I'm still waiting on my chance to sleep with peace. Maybe she doesn't exist. Maybe she's priceless, I don't know. But I promise you, when I find her, life as I know it will no longer exist. Somebody tell peace, I'm waiting on her. Boom. Hey. So yeah, thank y'all for coming out here. Saturday evening, you could be doing anything, but y'all here with us. Thank you to Sparrow's Fortune, like, oh my gosh. Morgan, I used to be like, man, we gotta do this Def Jam thing. And I used to sit up all night long watching Def Jam poetry, Russell Simmons on YouTube, or it's HBO. And then I started becoming a YouTuber. That's what that just felt like. Y'all special. Y'all are special. Every artist that went up here, y'all special. Y'all just make me feel like that when y'all do that, the duet thing. Like, oh my gosh. It's just next level. It's just next level, and we got that here at Poetry Unplugged. Thanks to you, Morgan. Thanks to Sparrow's Fortune. I just wanted to say that. Thanks to every artist that came out here. Thank you to moCa, Cream, Bobby. Thank y'all for letting us see the art and putting us in this position. I'm so grateful and so thankful.
Well, that is our show. We have another show, well, another experience, open mic experience, December 22nd. It will be at Jackson's Motif, 7 to 11 p.m. as usual. We have more shows coming up with experiences coming up with moCa next year, so stay on the lookout for that. Our website is now live. So you can look us up at poetryunplugged.co. Yeah, I did that, y'all. I did it. So, yeah, but thank you guys for coming out. You guys feel like family to me. Every time I feel like I'm sitting in the stands or whatever, in the chairs, I feel like I'm looking at the best next new artist that's coming up. I really appreciate y'all. I bow down to y'all. Y'all keep me creating. Y'all make me want to go home and write 10 new poems every time I leave here. Thank y'all for being like family to us, coming every month, being around us, liking our pictures, sharing our reels, sharing our flyers. We really appreciate y'all. We're about to be at a year in January, so we're super excited about that. Stay tuned for our January 1-year anniversary. It's gonna be super dope. And Thank you, you guys. Have a great night and be safe.
Can we get a little crowd participation? Because I forgot to say that. On 3, can we say good job, Poetry Unplugged? Can we do that? 1, 2, 3. Good job, Poetry Unplugged. Thank you.